Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into something fascinating. Corporate memes, how they're made, how they work. Our mission, to unpack how these bits of internet culture spread, like wildfire, and maybe how businesses can actually use them without, well, messing it up. So let's start way back. Richard Dawkins, 1976, he talks about memes as these cultural genes, right? Slow, steady replication. But today's internet meme, that's a whole different ballgame, isn't it? What really defines this newer version?
Yeah, it's completely different. The modern internet meme, it really thrives on quick bursts of popularity and, crucially, people deliberately changing it, remixing it. Its key features are, well, creative reproduction, people copying and altering it. Think mimicry, remix culture, and intertextuality is huge. It's like layering different cultural references, maybe from TV, movies, other memes, to create a new meaning, often an inside joke.
An inside joke.
Exactly. And that fosters community identity, in-jokes for specific groups. If you're outside, you just won't get it.
That feeling of being in, that makes a lot of sense. Is that the psychology behind why we share them so much? What's happening there?
Oh, absolutely. It taps right into our brains. Humor, relatability, they trigger dopamine. So sharing kind of extends that good feeling. It's almost a compulsion.
That compulsion, interesting.
Yeah. And we share for social currency. To look smart or funny or just in the know, signaling belonging.
Right. Showing you're part of the group.
And pure relatability. Mirror neurons kick in when a meme reflects our experience, like, I don't know, hating Monday mornings or endless Zoom calls. The feeling, right?
The feeling.
Yeah, it makes you feel seen, understood. That connection is powerful.
So they bypass our usual ad blockers, mentally speaking. That gives brands this kind of anti-ad advantage because it just feels like fun.
Exactly. It feels like entertainment or like something a friend would share, not a corporation. It slips past that cynicism we have towards, overt marketing. And the data backs it up. Some research shows meme-style native ads can get 4 times higher conversion rates.
4 times. Wow.
Yeah, and maybe 14% higher click-through rates compared to traditional ads because it doesn't feel like an ad.
Okay, that's potent. But you mentioned speed earlier. This whole thing sounds incredibly fast-paced.
Yeah.
Is there a predictable life cycle?
There is, but it's incredibly accelerated. Think. Creation, then adaptation as everyone jumps on, leading to a peak, then saturation, you see it everywhere, then mainstream decline, it becomes a dead meme.
A dead meme, right? Cringe territory.
Totally. And sometimes later, an ironic revival, used specifically because it's dead. But this speed creates a real headache for brands.
Oh, so?
It's the timeliness paradox. The window to use a meme effectively might only be days, sometimes just hours.
Hours, wow.
Yeah, and that clashes completely with typical, slower corporate approval processes, right? Legal marketing reviews, they can't keep up.
That sounds almost impossible for a big company. Have any actually managed to nail it? To be consistently timely and, good at it?
Wendy's on Twitter is probably the classic example. They built this whole roastmaster persona.
Oh, yeah, the savage tweet.
Exactly. It became entertainment. People followed them for the roasts, like their hashtag National Roast Day stuff. It felt authentic to that voice they created, not just forced marketing.
So authenticity is key. What about when it goes wrong? Any big faceplant examples?
Oh, plenty. DiGiorno pizza famously jumped onto the hashtag #WhyStayed hashtag.
Oh, I remember that. That was bad.
Really bad. It was a hashtag about domestic abuse survivors. They used it for a pizza joke. A total failure of basic research, incredibly tone deaf.
Yikes. Just not reading the room.
Or McDonald's using a phrase like, "say no more, fam." Years after it peaked, it just screamed, trying too hard, and made them look out of touch. Using dead memes is risky.
So it really boils down to this paradox. The best corporate memes don't feel corporate at all. It has to feel genuine.
Precisely. Perceived authenticity trumps any overt sales message. But that raises other issues.
Like legal ones.
Definitely legal and ethical, too. Most memes are technically derivative works, often using copyrighted images or characters, a brand using that commercially. That severely weakens any fair use argument. It's a genuine legal risk. There are even agencies now that specifically track unlicensed commercial meme use.
Okay, so legal hot water is a real possibility. What about the ethical side?
Big considerations there, too. Cultural sensitivity is paramount. Brands need to be aware of things like digital blackface, using reaction GIFs or images of Black people inappropriately, which has a really problematic history. And then there's consent. What about the person whose photo randomly went viral and is now a meme? They often didn't consent to be the face of, distracted boyfriend or whatever.
Mhm.
Brands using that face commercially adds another layer of complexity.
That's a lot to navigate. Looking ahead, could AI help here? Maybe solve that speed problem, the timeliness paradox, spotting trends faster?
AI is definitely playing a bigger role. It can help with ideation, drafting memes, and yeah, spotting trends much faster than humans scrolling feeds. It can help bridge that time gap.
But it can't do it all, presumably.
No way! You absolutely need a human in the loop. AI struggles massively with irony, with subtle cultural nuance, with ethical judgment calls. It can generate options, but the human expertise is knowing which meme is right, when to use it, and how.
The skill shifts.
Exactly. The value isn't just in making the meme anymore, it's the strategic wisdom behind deploying it effectively and ethically.
Which brings us back to needing real organizational agility and that deep cultural understanding you mentioned. You can't just assign this to an intern.
Absolutely not. It requires savvy.
Okay, let's wrap up. Here's a final thought for you to chew on. Maybe meme literacy, really getting the language, the nuances, how to create and interpret memes, isn't just for social media managers anymore. Maybe it's becoming a core skill for anyone in modern marketing. If you can't speak the language, you're increasingly going to be out of sync with, well, a huge chunk of the cultural conversation. Something to think about.